What's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Sports Opinions Podcast, Week 16, Picks Against the Spread. I am your host, Alex Cuesta. Wally, the Million Lira Man, cannot be with us again this week, but I have his picks, I have his results, and we will get down to the nitty-gritty right away without further ado. Starting it off the way we always do, talking about last week, our results of our picks, how we did, and what our season records are. For Week 15, Wally had Cowboys at Colts -3. He hit that with the Colts winning 23-0. He had Packers at Bears on the under for 45.5. He hit that as well, as the teams combined to only score 41 points. Then he had the Patriots money line against the Steelers, which he did not hit, 10 as the Steelers won 17-10. His record for the week was 2-1, and that puts him at 23-22-2. For the year. Again, he is having a great time betting outside of this as well. If you want to go visit at Million Lira Man on Twitter, you will find his packages. I believe it's $35 for a one-day pass, $75 for a two-day pass, and $135 for a one-week pass. You can't miss out. His percentages are insane. His numbers are great. Go check it out. As for me, I struggled mightily, and my quest to get back to 500 may all but be over. I had Dallas +3 against the Colts. Obviously, I lost that one. Colts dominated 23-0. I had New England beating Pittsburgh. New England -2.5. Pittsburgh won 17-10. And I had the Rams -13 against the Eagles. The Eagles ended up winning that game 30-23. My record was 0-3 because we picked it too late. The Jets had already played. I did not pick a Jets game. But I went 0-3. I'm now 25-33-1. My quest to get back to 500 might be dead, but I will trek on. I will now jump into this week, Week 16's games, our big games. I actually have 4 for this week since I have a little extra time with it being me solo. All these games are big because they all have playoff implications. So they are big games. They're important games. And in terms of betting, they might be difficult ones. First one, Ravens going to the Chargers. Chargers are favored -4.5. Ravens are 8-6, fighting to jump over the Pittsburgh Steelers and win the AFC North, which they can do depending on the circumstances. And the Chargers are really fighting for home field throughout. They're 11-3. They are favored in this game. This is one of my picks, so I'm not going to give this one away. And the next one is also one of my picks, and I'm also not going to give that away, but we're going to talk about it. Houston at 10-4, traveling to Philadelphia, who is 7-7, but they are a 2.5-point favorite at home. So that's also interesting. Again, that's one of mine. That's also one of Wally's picks, so I will talk about that when I get to it. These two games I'm going to talk about. Pittsburgh at 8-5-1, traveling to New Orleans at 12-2. New Orleans favored -6. In the Dome, Drew Brees is unstoppable. And I don't think many Pittsburgh fans expect to win this game. I really don't think they do. They have an explosive offense. They have a very good offense. They're playing very well. But in the Dome, Drew Brees is exceptional. -6, I think they can cover that. If I'm a betting man, I bet on the Saints, -6 in that game there. Next game, that's the last big game. Kansas City at 11-3, favored -2.5, heading to Seattle, who's sitting at 8-6, fighting to get a wild card spot because they're not going to catch the Rams at this point. That's massive because the Chiefs are favored going into the stadium of the 12th man, going in to face Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, who are sitting at 8-6 and desperate. I would go Seattle here. I think Seattle might actually end up pulling off the upset here. That stadium is difficult to play in, especially at this time of year where it's freezing cold. The fans are crazy. Russell Wilson's going to do his thing. Very little holding calls are going to get called on Seattle because they never are called, even though he holds the ball forever. Obviously, you can hear my pet peeve with that. But regardless of that, Seattle's really rolling. They're a much better team than I thought they'd be this year. It shows the resilience of that team, that coaching staff, and Russell Wilson. And I would definitely go Seattle +2.5 there. All right, moving on to our locks. Me and Wally actually agree on one of our locks, so I'm going to save that for last, but I'm going to go over Wally's picks first. for week 16, he likes the Lions plus 5.5 defending home turf against the Vikings. Now, the Vikings are up and down. Nobody knows who the Vikings are. They beat the Dolphins last week, and the Dolphins showed some resiliency. But we don't know where Kirk Cousins is going to be week to week. He's been paid a lot of money. He's fully guaranteed, but no one has any idea what that guy is going to do. And the Lions have enough explosion on offense that they can definitely keep this one close. So plus 5.5, Lions at home. I like that pick from Wally. Next pick, he has the Bears -4 heading to the Niners. I think this is a safe pick. I think this is a comfortable pick. The Bears are a much better team. The Niners are not a very good football team. And I think the Bears are just going to roll over the Niners. -4, I think, is a good number there. The game that we agree upon is the Houston-Philadelphia game, where Houston is traveling to Philly. And for some reason, like I said, Philly is favored -2.5 starting backup quarterback, Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles. Foles last week did what any logical human being in his situation would do. Every time he dropped back, he looked for big number 17. Open or not, he threw it his way. That's it. That was the key to Nick Foles' success last year, this past week. And I think he's going to go to the well again. But the Texans are a really, really good team as well. That defense is better than the Rams. They have legitimate pass rushers in J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney. And I don't think Nick Foles is going to have the time like he did last week. So I think the Texans, we're both going Texans plus 2.5 here. I think Texans win the game outright. But Vegas does things for a reason, so who knows? We might both be wrong. My next few picks, I talked about Baltimore and the Chargers. I said I wasn't going to talk about it up there because I'm going to talk about it down here. Baltimore is a desperate team. And Baltimore is also a team that controls the clock because they run the ball. Their quarterback is more of a running back with a big arm. And they just play ball control. They've held the ball. I think they have an outrageous 36 minutes per game. It's something crazy how much they have held the ball per game so far since Lamar Jackson has gotten in. And it's because he runs a lot and he's hard to take down. And that offense is hard to stop because of that factor. I don't necessarily think Baltimore is going to beat the Chargers, but I do think they're going to keep it close because of that reason. And I'm going Baltimore plus 4.5 there. Next game, the Redskins traveling to Tennessee to play the Titans. Now, the Titans are favored -10 here. I get it. Redskins are starting a backup quarterback. Derrick Henry is running roughshod. But Tennessee is another team you don't know what you're going to get. And if the Redskins can figure out a way to slow down and stop Lewis and Henry, which has been done this year to the Titans, so it might happen. If they can do that, then quite literally the Redskins are going to keep it close. 10 points is too much. I like the Redskins plus 10 there. I'm obviously desperate because I need to win games this week, so I'm going with a lot of underdogs. And my final pick is my Jets pick. Green Bay is traveling to MetLife Stadium to play the Jets. Sam Darnold has played really well over these last 2 weeks, and I really think that they're going to keep it close, and they have a chance at upsetting Rodgers and beating him as they're having an abysmal season this year. I like the Jets, plus 2.5 there, and I really think that we might have a pleasant surprise if we're Jets fans this week. So let me go over the picks one more time. Wally has Lions plus 5.5, Bears -4. We both share Texans plus 2.5. I have Ravens plus 4.5, Redskins plus 10, Jets plus 2.5, and again, obviously, Houston plus 2.5. Again, go visit Million Lira Man on Twitter, at Million Lira Man. Look at his packages. Look at his results. They speak for themselves. You want to go and you want to buy those. Go find me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Alex Cuesta, @A_Cuesta30. Sports Opinions at Sports Opinion 30. On Twitter, on Instagram, Sports Opinions 30. Visit the Facebook page. Find podcasts that we put out almost anywhere you can find a podcast. And enjoy Week 16. The regular season's coming to a close. Not too much longer left for gambling, playoffs, or whatever in terms of NFL. But we have a little bit left. We're going to enjoy it. Me and Wally are going to continue to hit these. And you're going to win money if you continue to bet with us. Again, have a great Week 16. Happy gambling. Happy football. Have a good one.